This is Texans TV.
Brennan Scarlett's asking players what are the best and worst gifts they've ever received.
Like, oh, I like this. Yeah, you know, you put it up to you.
And Jordan Aikens tells his football story.
Jordan Aikens, 53 yards.
That's coming up on Texans Buzz. Welcome into Texans Buzz. 'Tis the season, and 'tis the season for a great show tonight because we got the holiday theme woven throughout tonight's episode, right, Drew?
Oh, totally, Deepi. We're going shopping with a Texan. We're going to find out what some Texans cheerleaders do off the field, and you're going one-on-one with the deep snapper.
That's right. But first, we kick off the show the way we always do with Brennan Scarlett taking the mic into the locker room. He's asking players about best and worst gifts.
All right. You my guest, though. I bet. Hello. We're here with Brennan Scarlett, outside linebacker. 57. 57 on the field, number 1 in your hearts. I mean, don't let me keep going.
That was a lie. That was a lie. What is the best holiday gift you've ever received?
When I was younger, I always wanted a video game. So I got the PlayStation, and then that's when NCAA was out. So NCAA football with the PlayStation 2. Yeah.
That PS2.
When I was about 11, Moms came across some money, and she bought me my first pair of Jordans, man.
First pair of Jordans. Which Jordans were they?
The 11s. Jordan 11s. Dope.
Which colorway were they?
Black and white, baby, with a little specks of red in that joint.
Wow. Shout out to Moms hooking it up with the J's.
When the first Xbox came out, I got that in 2007, I think. And I was lit. My mom got it for me. My grandma actually got it for me.
When it first dropped.
So you know I was lit.
Probably my BB gun.
It had to be when I was like 7. My mom and dad got me a four-wheeler for Christmas. They said, you know what I'm saying? I went outside, you know, and played on it while they were asleep, you know what I mean? And then when I woke back up to get on it, it was broke.
What's the worst holiday present you've ever received?
My older brother, man, for Christmas he got me some white Shacks.
Straight from Payless.
Straight from Payless, man, and they were too big.
Hey, shout out to Shaquille O'Neal making affordable sneakers for the kids out there.
Like a legit ugly sweater.
One of my aunties got it for me. It was a bad sweater, bro.
It was really ugly, but you gotta play like it's nice.
And I had to wear it for her and try to, make it look tight, but it just wasn't happening.
You had to thug it out. So when you open that gift, like, what's the reaction? Because, like, you gotta act kind of like, like you like it.
Like, oh, I like this. Yeah, you know, you put it up to you, see what size it is, look at it.
I don't know why our family feel like they be getting like a fresh sweater when they know it's bad, like, and then they give it to you so happy, like, I'm not gonna like this.
Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thanks
Been
for
just
having
a wonderful guest. The number 33, AJ Moore from the countryside. That mud riding, BB gun shooting, dog. All right, we moving.
Well, Drew, now I know what to look for if I ever give someone an ugly sweater, and so should you. That's the reaction. You don't want to see that reaction.
No, you only want to give ugly sweaters in an ironic way. And you know who doesn't wear ugly sweaters, but who has a warm heart? Jordan Aikens, tight end for the Texans. And here's a little bit more on him.
The 98th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Jordan Aikens, tight end, Central Florida.
5 in traffic, touchdown! Jordan Aikens, 53 yards. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Aikens again. Hello, Jordan Aikens. Welcome to the NFL. Wow.
Growing up in Georgia, it was very country. It was very competitive. Football was actually a lesson from my mom. She said that me and all my brothers, we always broke too much stuff around the house. So she threw us on the football field to teach us a lesson. We fell in love with the game and never came off the field.
throwing downfield, and he's got a man. First down, Aikens.
Baseball is my number one love. You know, I played it since I was 3. I got drafted in 2010, 3rd round, 103rd pick overall to the Texas Rangers. You know, just to grind that hard and you, just watch your dream come true before your eyes, it was very special. I really worked hard at it. I loved the game, but at some moment, you know, just the love for the game kind of faded. And I struggled really bad my rookie year. Russell Wilson came to a spring training with us, and he came out and he spoke to the team, and I raised my hand and I asked him, when did you know it was the right time for you to leave the sport and go back to the gridiron? And he said, I honestly can't answer that question. It's just a gut feeling that you will have. And I knew exactly what feeling he was talking about. I always had that gut feeling Russell was talking about, and I just needed to hear it from someone else who was going through the same situation I was.
Down left, he looks, he throws downfield, man is there. Jordan Aikens got it, touchdown UCF.
I went back to school to just get returned to the gridiron, get my degree. Football was always there to lean back on, so it basically just taught me that no matter how many skills or talents that you have, you know, never give up on anything. If you have many dreams, you know, if one don't work out, you can definitely fulfill the next. I've learned to not just play in one goal, I just go, you know, because you never know what God has in store for you.
Firing right side of the end zone. Touchdown, Houston, Jordan Aikens, and the Texans go in front.
Second touchdown for the second-year tight end out of Central Florida.
Like every NFL player, Jordan Aikens has an awesome story about his journey, his path to the NFL.
That's right. And John Weeks, he's been in the league
one,
for a decade. He's played with a lot of greats, and he's got a new punter this year who's not so new, but we sat down with him and caught up with the Texans long snapper. It's the Deep Slant One-on-One presented by Xfinity. Our guest this week, John Weeks, 10-year veteran, longest tenured Texan. Welcome in. It's been a while since we've chatted.
It has been. I'm excited to be here right now.
I feel like you're making fun of me
Not
because
at all.
every time I see you, you say, when are we going to do an interview? And I feel like you're mocking me because you actually don't really like to do interviews.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe just a little bit.
But I enjoy our time together, so I'm excited to be here.
I am excited to have you here. You have snapped on every field goal attempt, extra point, and punt for Houston since signing as a free agent in 2010. I find that outstanding and a little hard to believe. How about for yourself? How do you feel knowing that you've never missed a snap on any of those plays?
You know, it's an honor, really. It just proves to me that you know, I'm good at my craft, that my coaches and teammates trust me. And the other thing, as a snapper, you always want to be durable and dependable, and I've been able to do that. And when called upon, I've been able to go out there and perform at my best. So I'm just thankful. I was thankful for the opportunity continually. I'm still thankful for the opportunity to go out there and do it today. And I love going out there with those guys and competing.
I'm going to get to Brian Anger, the punter, in just a minute. But first, what about the identity of special teams? You've been here long enough to remember when special teams was just where rookies went to play, you know, before they could get on the field on offense or defense. And now it seems like the identity of special teams is very much its own. You've got guys that pride themselves on really contributing. That's what they wanted to do. That's what they were out there to do. How do you feel about that? How much that has changed this aspect of the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that, you know, since Coach O'Brien's been here, he's stressed. He's talked about the importance of special teams and how guys' roles, you know, if they're not starters on offense and defense, that their roles are going to be on special teams. And we've got a great group of guys who have embraced that. You know, you mentioned a few, but you can go up and down our special teams units with the impact players that we have, guys that have embraced the role, understand why they're here, how they can contribute to this team and help this team win football games and ultimately get to the big game at the end. That's everybody's goal, and that's what we're striving to do.
All right, let's get to Brian Anger. He joined early on in the season. You spent some time with him in training camp, and then obviously he became the punter early on. What was that transition like for you? Was it tough to sort of switch punters like that for you? What are some of the challenges as a long snapper to work on that unit?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't think for us, because Brian was with us in training camp, I don't think it was as much of a transition as maybe some people think. You know, me and Brian work really well together. Me, Brian, and Kaimi had plenty of reps during training camp and during the preseason together. So it was just getting used to each other again, and that took maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks tops if you want to be super picky about it. But you know, I feel like us three together, we're doing a good job. We enjoy each other, and we're having fun out there. And Brian's kicking the ball. He's doing a great job. He's pinning to those guys deep, and on our defense, it's hard to drive the length of the field. So. You know, Brian keeps doing what he's doing. We're going to be in really good shape.
All right, John, best of luck for the rest of the year, John.
Thank you, Deepi. Appreciate you.
You know, when John Weeks made the Pro Bowl back in 2015, I had to help him catch some of his snaps at the practice. Didn't break any fingers, didn't break my nose.
Yeah, but your hands are probably still burning. Coming up, find out what Texans cheerleaders are doing off the field. Stay tuned for more Texans Buzz. Welcome back to the Ford Studio, and every week you see some great stuff here on this show, but we've got a brand new series that starts tonight on Texans Buzz.
Yes, we do, Deepi. Beyond the boots, what do the Houston Texans cheerleaders do when they're not on the field cheering? Well, believe it or not, they've got some interesting jobs in their daily lives.
I'm Casey Potter. I am the coach of the Houston Texans Cheerleaders, and I am so honored to have this role and get to work with these women day in and day out because I was a cheerleader myself, so I understand the hard work that they put into their normal lives and their other jobs and their family, and so I'm excited for y'all to get to know the cheerleaders behind the scenes.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I am a third-year veteran with the Houston Texans Cheerleaders, and I am a doctor of audiology. And so I decided when I was in undergraduate that I wasn't ready to be done with school. And so I looked into audiology, and I said, wow, that's exactly what I want to do.
All growing up, my parents would call me the Pied Piper of kids because they kind of just latch on to me and I latch on to them. So then when I got to college, I said, let me just start in education and just see. And from the very first start, they had us doing observations from my very first semester. And I fell in love with the classroom and I knew that this was where I needed to be.
Wait, then we can help our friends. Class, the way we can be a good citizen. Come on up, Evelyn, my bud.
When they're 5 and they're 6 and 7, their brains are like sponges. So I love the moment when I teach them something new and they're excited to learn. And I can just see it when something clicks, when we've been going over something and they finally get it. That's probably the most rewarding aspect.
One of the most rewarding things is when a patient comes back to me after they've been wearing their devices for a little while and say that they've noticed that they're hearing their grandchildren better, they're hearing their friends better. Hearing is such a vital part of your quality of life, and so I love to give the gift of hearing back to patients.
So wake up at 5:45, I get to work at 7:15. I'm with them all day, the same group of kids. When I have lunch, I have a 30-minute lunch period. I eat for 15 minutes and I work for the other 15 minutes. Probably should take the whole 30 minutes to take a break, but I don't, because I really have to keep work at work and home at home. All that till 3:30 when I put them on the bus and have them go home, eat a quick little meal to get myself ready for practice, and then I'm in practice mode.
I think I learned early on that I really like to do a lot of things. I always kind of overfilled my bucket, but when I'm here at my job, I really focus on my patients. I want to make sure that they're being cared for and make sure that they feel like they're getting the care that they need and that they deserve. It's definitely a lot to balance, but it's doable for sure.
It's very important, like in your workplace, to have support and have friends and people that you can lean on, and they know like my crazy lifestyle and how busy it is. Sometimes, it could be rough, my morning starting, and I'm tired from practice, but they just help any kind of way they can.
For me, I'm very thankful that I have a wonderful support system. My husband and my parents, they're the biggest support system, and they want me to live out this dream also. I'm very thankful to have them in my life. I think having that mindset of being very, very honored and very humble to be in this position is what keeps me going and a lot of the other girls going too.
The most rewarding thing is being a team member and being a part of an organization that appreciates you and having a coach that really appreciates you. And everyone is so uplifting and encouraging. It's not a battle between any of us. There's 34 girls on the team and we all genuinely work together.
And that's what I love the most about the group, is it's really a family that everyone can bring something different to the table. We're definitely not a cookie cutter bunch. Everybody has something different that they like to bring along, and that's what I love the most about it, is that it is such a diverse group of girls that all have this love for dance, and they have the love for football. They have a love for the Texans, and it's great to see that all this diversity can come together for one big love.
We go back to Brennan Scarlett's days of being an undrafted player. That's next on Texans Buzz. We're back with more Texans Buzz. Every week you get to know a little bit more about these players, and every week, Drew, we start off this show with B-Scar TV and Brennan Scarlett. But you know what? He's a jokester in the locker room. Everyone really likes him, but he's got a much deeper story. Right?
Brilliant guy. He went to two of the best universities in the entire world, in Cal and in Stanford. And here's more on B-Scar.
My name's Brennan Scarlett, and I was undrafted. Coming out of college, I was getting those calls from scouts and trainers from teams around the league. I didn't take any visits. I wasn't invited to the combine. I wasn't invited to the Senior Bowl, to the NFLPA Bowl, to any of those bowl games. So I basically was just trained for Pro Day. So I had a solid performance at Pro Day, and then after that was just waiting on the draft. I kind of got the feeling that I wasn't going to be drafted, and if I was, it would be pretty late. So I watched the day one, obviously, because I had some buddies that were going that day. I knew that I wasn't going to, but I watched. Day two, watched. I was like, okay, if I got called, that would be cool, but pretty much knew that wasn't going to happen. And then by the last day, I was just like, yo, I can't watch this anymore. And at a certain point, I just shut off my TV and I went outside and started playing basketball with my siblings. I was back home in Portland, Oregon, and I basically just got to the point where I'm gonna just let the chips fall where they may. After the draft, spoke to Coach O'Brien, went through the numbers, through the roster to see, do I really have a shot at making this team? Because what I wanted is I wanted a chance to compete, and some rosters you're not given that chance. But here, the organization and how we run it, the best guys are gonna play. So I just felt like every time I stepped out there, I had to show what I could do. Every time, I wanted to win, whether we're in a walkthrough, special teams, or pass rush, or whatever it was. I just wanted to win every time, and I felt like I had to do that in order to make this team.
And that is intercepted. That's picked off by Brennan Scarlett. Knocked free by Brennan Scarlett.
Sacked by Brennan Scarlett. Ball is out. It's loose. Scarlett recovers the hogskin, and Houston is in business.
I think being undrafted, it's added a certain level of hunger. I just still have that chip on my shoulder. Coming in, I felt like, I knew that I was capable of doing what I've done. And I still, to this day, I know that there's more that I can do. So, it's kind of just a snowball effect. Like that chip, it stays there, and the hunger continues to grow. My message to the next undrafted would be just to, keep your head down, grind, work hard every day, and every chance you get to show what you can do, whatever it is, whether it's a walkthrough, whether it's a jog through, special teams, one-on-ones, whatever it is, win your rep, because somebody's watching, and never think that they're not.
Not only is it hard to believe that Brennan Scarlett went undrafted, I still can't wrap my head around the fact that he wasn't even invited to the combine, how much talent he has.
Yeah, the rest of the NFL's loss has been the Texans' gain. I mean, this guy, he's getting it done on the field, off the field. He's a leader in the locker room. He's one of those guys that Bill O'Brien calls the fabric of the team.
Yeah, started off with special teams, and now he's making a name on defense, too. Love seeing what he's doing out there. Texans rookies made the holidays a little brighter for some young fans. You won't want to miss it next on Texans Buzz. This segment is brought to you in part by the Texas Lottery. It's the final segment of Texans Buzz, and you know what time that is. It means Drew is going to answer some very important questions, like what to get your mom for Christmas. Just kidding, he's answering other important questions.
That's a good one. I would answer that if somebody asked, but they didn't this week. However, Clinton Pulaski asked a really good one about J.J. Watt. So, Clinton, he gets Texas Lottery scratch-offs.
Drew, every year the rookies have a great event this time of year. They shop with a Texan with a little kid at Academy Sports and Outdoors, and this year they hit the store again.
It's one of my favorite Houston Texans Christmas traditions. Lots of smiles all around, not just from the kids, but from the Texans. It was a lot of fun this year, as it is every year. On Tuesday, December 10th, Houston Texans rookies and cheerleaders paired with kids from the Houston Texans YMCA and the Boys and Girls Club of Houston for a holiday shopping spree, all made possible with Academy Sports and Outdoors gift cards.
You know, a lot of kids, couldn't afford those things and have those things, for Christmas, and we just, went on a shopping spree with them and get the things that they really wanted. So it was very special to those kids, and it's happy to me to give back. Just me growing up here, and I also used to go to YMCA when I was younger. Giving back and seeing those kids put a smile on their face, it means the world to me. My girl Vanessa, she got some soccer cleats and soccer balls and a lot of the gear that just come with it. Got some gloves also. It's gonna look nice out there while she plays. So a lot of those things she didn't have before, and I'm happy to help her out with those things.
New bike, man. I need like some Legos. I need something. It's all right. You'll be looking fresh in all your new clothes.
That's going to do it for Texans Buzz. We hope that left you with a smile, because I love seeing stuff like that. And you know what? I love seeing you out here every week doing your thing, Drew Dougherty.
If I could make an echo, I would echo it back at you, because that's how I feel too. And that's how we feel about you watching us, because we wouldn't be here were it not for you, and we wouldn't be on the show if it weren't for Tyler Suddarth, being the puppeteer and making things happen and edit and shooting it. It's so good. So thank you, Tyler. Thank you. And thank you to all of you with dogs and kitty cats that are sitting next to you. Scratch them under the chin if they're right next to you right now.
Yeah, and thank you so much for watching. As always, go Texans.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to know when we post new content.